Hi everybody, this is Maureen Wong with mycasestudies.blogspot.com. Today we're going to be making this ombre style gold embossed card. It's very shimmery and fun, so let's get started. I have my MISTI out and I'm prepping with my anti-static powder bag, my piece of watercolor cardstock, and I'm using Versamark ink to stamp my thanks, which is from Altenew's Halftone Thanks. And I'm using gold detail embossing powder to emboss my word. And there is a little bit of stray powder between the legs of the case, so I used a straight pin to get that out. I'm using Picked Raspberry Distress ink. I actually used the re-inker and the cover of the ink pad. And I have some of it watered down and some of it full strength. And now I'm going to take a clean brush and some clean water and just put some clean water into the thanks, and then I'm going to take another brush and get some of the watered down picked raspberry and just touch it into the bottom portions of the words. And I'm doing this as I go along, otherwise the water will dry and the inks won't spread as well. So I'm doing, maybe about 2 letters at a time and then touching the pink in there. And I've got a lot of time to play with this. Move the pink around as much as I want, get it a little bit higher into the letters, but I don't want it to spread too far into the tops of the letters, at least not full strength, because then I'm not going to really have the ombre effect that I'm going for. So you can see I'm moving it around because I don't want stark white at the tops of my letters. I do want my whole letters kind of pinkish, but I want it to be a very light pink towards the top. And then what I'm going to do is just come back in with my pink brush and add some more color in. And then I'm actually going to come in with the full strength re-inker. This is some that I put down without any water. And that's going to make it a real ombre effect where it's got the super dark pink at the bottom. And then it fades out to the light pink at the top. And every so often I'm going to need to come in with some water to help the color spread, but I'm not going to use too much because I don't want it to spread too much. So that's pretty much it, and then I'm just going to take my heat tool and heat it up a little bit so that it dries. Now I'm getting out the Persian Motifs, and I'm using my MISTI once again, and I'm going to gold emboss, so I treated it with my anti-static powder bag. And I'm coming in with my Versamark ink and putting the gold powder on. And then I'm going to move my paper down in my MISTI so I can stamp it again without moving that stamp. And I just closed the cover to check and make sure that it would clear the first image, and it did. So I'm going to heat that up until it melts and then cut those out with the matching dies also from Altenew. Now I've used this stitched rectangle die set from Your Next Stamp to cut out my thanks panel, and now I'm going to cut down my motif pieces because they're a little bit too big for the purpose that I have in mind, which is going around the thanks on my card. So I'm playing with that a little bit to see how I want them oriented. And now I'm going to stick foam tape on the back and stick them down. I've decided at this point to leave them blank so that all of the attention would be on that beautiful ombre thanks. And now I'm mounting that on my card. And then mounting the flowers from the Persian Motifs. And I've actually cut down the stems a little bit more. And there is my card, but I'm not happy with it. It looks a little bit too plain, so I'm coming in with Mowed Lawn Distress ink to color up those flower motifs. And I'm going to do the same basic application that I did on the thanks, which is I'm going to flood the area with water and then come in with that green color on a separate brush and just touch it into the bottoms and let it spread on its own. And I can move it around a little bit, but basically I'm letting it spread on its own and sort of not spread too far so it gives me an ombre effect. And I'm going to come in with the lighter wash on the top and then the darker color on the bottom, and then I'm going to repeat that. And now I've got my Fine Tech metallic palette out, and I'm going to use that gold at the bottom to color the flower portion of the or the petals, I guess, of that flower. And I'm doing it the same way, except I'm actually using a little bit more because the gold is almost like little bits of gold suspended in water, so it doesn't look the same as an ink does, and it doesn't react the same way and spread the same way. So I'm actually going to spread it out a little bit more to get that color. It doesn't look as nice with the ombre effect, so I'm just going to kind of spread it out a little bit more than I do with the green and the pink. And I did the other one just like that, and here we go, another look at that. The still shot just doesn't do it justice, so I wanted you to see all the shimmer in the live shot. So I hope you like this, and thanks very much for watching.